Okay, this is to show you all how to make a decorative charger. Well, how I do it. And it kind of makes it easy. It takes a little bit of the work of art out of it because I make so many of them. I have to be quick. I can't spend 50 hours on making a charger when I'm not charging them $200 for them. You know what I mean? So, anywho, um, here's some chargers that I got from the Dollar Tree. I got the gold ones. I got the red ones. Let's see, the red ones are really nice. Same color as my car. Then I got these matte patina ones. They're kind of rustic looking. It's really pretty. And then I got these, and this was lucky. I've never seen anything. This is good. It's like a woven design. It's not a flat surface. It's got some bumps on it. And then they always have the silver ones. Now, I also got this wood grain one from Walmart. It's a nice one, but it's smaller than the dollar one. Can you believe it? It's smaller than the dollar one. I think it cost like $2.99 or $1.87 or so. It wasn't that much, or I wouldn't have bought it. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with that one either. And I only got one. I don't have a pair, so. Okay, then what you're going to need is you're going to need some regular acrylic paint, which I usually buy Deco Art, Americana, or they got another brand too that I get from them. And then they have, I get Deco Art Duraclear. It's a gloss varnish. It's waterproof. It's like, it gives a real nice, good protectant on it. But for something that I want to last like forever, I might not use this only. Because I might not use only this. I ain't gonna lie, I might not use all of it. Only if it's empty because I poured it inside this container so I could dip my brush in it. And then you have some gesso. I got clear gesso, and it's got a matte, not real matte, but it's not as shiny as it would be. And then I got a picture. You need a charcoal pencil. You probably could do it with a lead pencil, but I never did it with the lead pencil. You need an ink pen. I use sponges to apply my paint because I can get that blended effect like airbrush trick. This is a trick that I use for my profession. I am a body artist, so I paint on people. Face painters, bodies, clothes on people, stuff like that. I even made a fat man skinny one time. But this right here is what I use for them. And then once they get too stained up from the face paint, I wash them, sanitize them, and retire them to the art room. Because I know I'm going to use this for something. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to use this for. Oh, let me tell you what this is from. This sponge is from... It's like a cushion that goes in the seat, but I buy a big piece of it from Michaels, and I cut them in these 1 to 2 inch blocks for face painting. If you don't have, I wouldn't go out, unless you're going to, really get into this, I wouldn't go invest no money on these. If you have an old chair, an old chair, that you think you're going to throw away, or even that you're not, unzip the thing, cut you a piece of the... Yeah, you feel me now? Okay, so you only need a little piece. You don't need a big piece. Maybe 2 pieces. And paint brushes. Some different size paint brushes. I have my whole little setup on this side where it's got the water thing for the paint brushes and most of my stuff that I use all the time. My different color paints. And then I have blending medium if I need it sometimes, but I haven't been using it on these. I've been using the wet on wet paint method, because with this surface, when you put the gesso on it, the reason why you're putting the gesso on it is because you want it to have a grit so that the paint will stick, right? But if you put too much water on it, it'll kind of make it move a little bit, like break off. I mean, it just, I don't like it. So I try not to use this that much. If you make it too wet, too long, go over it too many times, it'll pick up some of the gesso underneath it. And then you want to have a picture. Go to your Google silhouettes, and then find silhouettes of people, find whatever it is that you want to paint. I'm showing you how the easy way to do it. A silhouette of a person, you might want a kid, you might want a dog, something. You just put silhouette of, and then a whole bunch, and push images, and a whole bunch of them will come out. Print out the one that you want, the size that you think that you're going to put it on this plate. Okay, so first thing you do is you get your paint, and you load up you're using this as your paintbrush, right? Make sure it ain't, oh, no, go back. The first thing that you do is you want to prep your plate, because of the glossiness on it. Sometimes it's hard to get a nice smooth finish on the paint. So on the acrylics when you put it on. So you take your gesso, you brush it on. You brush it on real thin. You try to use the softest brush so you got least streaks as possible. You let it dry. I blow dry this because I was going to make this video tonight, and I want to do it before I go to bed because I promised someone that I would send them this, okay? So, you take your sponge and you load you some paint on there. I think you decide on what color you want. I think that I want to make this for some reason I always start with some form of yellow. Especially like if I'm doing the sky. Stuck. Let's pop a hole in there. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with this. I'm gonna do that. Oh wow, it's dried up. See, this is one reason why this is a new thing too. I haven't even used this one yet. Ain't that ridiculous? This is why I always use Deco Art. I ain't never had this problem with them. But I wanted this real pale yellow, so I ended up getting Apple Barrel. And I used it one time, and I haven't used it since then. So, piece of paper out. Sorry, you have to excuse me on this part. Distracted drivers injure and kill thousands every year. Like that. If you're hurt in a wreck by a distracted driver. Okay, so we're going to make like the background first, right? So you put a little bit of paint. You don't need a lot of paint. People got the misconception that you got to use the whole bottle of paint in order to draw something. You don't need that much paint. It's wasteful. Okay, so the first thing I want to make a horizon line. Just straight across, straight as you. If you have to make points, like find your center point and just make a line here, a dot here, and a dot here, and then just go from dot to dot. So you make a straight line. Now you don't want to press down too light because you want it to get in there good, but you don't want to press it down real hard neither, because it'll make little impressions of the sponge in there. So you just make your center line. So then I want to add another color, right? So I think that I'm going to go with this. I don't know, it's like a orange, and you put the line next to where you just got done putting the yellow, right? And you want to put the yellow where you put the yellow, but you want to start with the other color. Okay, now the thing about it, the sky, to make it look like, instead of, because if you keep doing it like this, you're just going to end up with a whole bunch of lines, right? It's not even going to look natural. So what I do is I'll like take, you want to put a little bit more of the first color on there. Just a little bit. And then you like, you know, go uneven. You don't want to go straight because then it looks like it's just a line, right? You want to go uneven a little bit. Kind of like, you know.
That's great. What's your relationship like that?
I only met him a few times. He's Lewis's cousin. That's all I know. How long you been using? Those are old.
See that? Like, you don't want to make a straight line. You want it to be a little bit different because the sky is not all straight. When the clouds form and whatever's in the sky to make it different, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't make a straight line. It's just all over. Okay, so then you want to like add another color. So I think I might want to add like a pink.
So Barrett got
I think
prescriptions from Dr. Mason. Then he gave him the Vance. Vance got the runners, distributed the pills. Barrett sealed himself off. Now without Vance,
I think I want a pink.
Barrett.
Now, mind you, my skies are not necessarily the traditional color of sky, right? Usually the traditional color of sky, I want it to look festive. I just want it to... Now, you want to squeeze it back because you remember you got those other two colors on there. You don't want it to get where you don't want it. So, you want to, like, squeeze it back a little bit. And you want to overlap a little bit on the color you painted so that it makes one. And then in order for you to make it look kind of airbrushy, you want to move your thing back a little bit. You don't want to make it straight across or it's going to look straight across. But for it to blend like that, you want to move it back and forth a little bit so that it mixes a little bit with the color that you put on there already. Now, you might get some of these little boogers. I hate that. I just get something straight like a pen and just pull them out while the paint is still dry, because you can fix the little scratch there, but I hate it when it's in there. It looks cheap, not good quality. So you just go back over what you just did, where you just got the little booger out.
I think the harpoon is already in the whale. Time is ticking. 6 p.m. tomorrow, you bring me the cash.
Sometimes I add a little bit.
We're done.
Okay. So then you can either turn it on this side and add some more. So I'm going to get a darker color. I think I'll get like a purple. No, I'll say like a blue, like this color blue. This is apple bottom blue. Blue bonnet.
Thanks for coming. I can see the white wine.
Glad you called. I wasn't expecting to hear from you.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't actually call about that. I need some advice.
Sure. You in trouble?
I've got this friend. He's also a cop, and his sister got a DUI, and her son was in the car. Gonna be a mess. And my friend, he took care of it. Problem is, a white shirt, he found out about it, and now my friend's getting all jammed up. I'm just wondering what kind of punishment he might be looking at.
Well, falsifying a report is a Rule 14 violation. It's a straight felony. Plus, with a white shirt gunning for him, I'd say your friend is looking at 5 years in prison.
Okay. Ouch.
Now when it gets to where you're using a separate side and you don't have the same color, just turn it back over and just use that color. Blend it in a little bit. This does take a little time, but it's not like you're going to be spending hours doing this. You might take maybe about an hour. I would say an hour to do this right here. It doesn't take that long. It's just I'm like trying to talk and do it at the same time, so The first couple of ones you do, it might take a while. Okay, so on the other side of the blue, I'm going to put purple. And I'm purposely going to put a darker purple in there. Because I want the focal point to be in the middle, right?
But now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can immediately reduce your pain.
Hold on, I'm going to put a lot on there because I forgot about that.
Diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how you can get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Are you struggling with addiction? Do you need to detox? Is addiction controlling your life, hurting your loved ones? Don't be ashamed. Addiction is a disease that requires medical treatment. At Freedom from Addiction, we help people nationwide get free from addiction to alcohol, opioids, prescription medicine, narcotics, and more. Your life is precious. Addiction is a disease. Accept the help you need and call Freedom from Addiction now to get the victory over addiction you and your family deserve. We get hundreds of calls every day. Right now, we just want one. Yours. Call Freedom from Addiction now. And in as little as 21 days from right now, you can return home free from addiction and free to start a new chapter in your life. But you have to call now.
You want as little as gold showing through as possible. Now, sometimes I don't mind a little bit of gold showing through, but
The Flooring Gallery, your home's best friend.
I'm not really a shiny person, so
With the best prices of the year on appliances to help you handle anything.
chances are I'm not going to leave it gold.
Savings like these. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Just blend it until it gets that soft transition between colors, because you know that's how the sky is. It's not like a harsh difference that come in.
It's amazing.
Your girlfriend, she was buying heroin on the west side.
She's been trying to wean herself off. She just needs to go back to rehab.
Well, you can make that happen if you start cooperating.
Okay, so that's the top.
Your cousin is a drug.
Now, on this dark part of the purple, you might have to go over it again so that you can get a real dark purple. But yeah, that's how that's going to be. Okay, so then on this other side, if you're going to do water, you just do the same thing underneath it. But you kind of, it's usually brighter up here than it is down here. It's brighter, so you put a little darker down here. But, you know, this is
That is what he asked for.
it just depends on
And I didn't know how to get out.
what it is that you're doing. So what I normally do is I'll take like this color, the color that I had, the second color, and put it on top of the yellow so it'll mix while I'm doing it. See that? And it makes it a little bit darker than I made the top, but it's still the lightest color.
That's this what? Twice? Ready to rock. I don't know if I can do this. Right, this is my family. We grew up together and now I'm stabbing in the back. No. No, this isn't good.
Another reason why I like using the sponges instead of using a brush on this part on the background part is because it's a smooth surface. A lot of times it'll make you'll have like a lot of brush strokes, and I don't really like that. So I usually do this because it's I messed up. I put too much yellow in there, but it's okay. All you gotta do is wipe some off.
Let me know when you got eyes on the doctor.
Yeah, we got him. He's by the bench.
I want it to blend in the middle. So I had to put some yellow on there, darker, lighter yellow, so that I could blend the top with the, because really, unless it's a different, you really don't see the horizon line when you look at the horizon. If you think about it, you see the change of color. You don't see the horizon line. It's just a change of color.
You said nothing was gonna happen.
Nothing has happened.
So then I'm gonna put that yellow, some more. That oil was orange, is what it was. Put some more orange on there because you gotta try to mimic your what you did. You're mirroring the top. It's not going to be perfect, but you're going to try to mirror it a little bit, like, you know.
I don't know what you're talking about. Come on. Alright, hey, we got eyes. Why don't you hang back? We don't want to eat this guy. No, that's strange.
And then we had a pink.
Person you're referring to, I don't remember telling you his name.
Police told me about Vance.
Police, huh? How many times you talked to them?
Once, twice.
Well, which one is it? Once or twice?
It doesn't matter. Why did you kill him?
Why are you trying to get me
And I'm actually not even going to use this. I'm just showing you how to do that. I'm not going to even use this bottom part because it's not going to be water. It's going to be grass. So that is only how far I'm gonna go with that. I'm just gonna leave it like that because I forgot I'm not even doing the bottom like that. But if you wanted it to be water, you would just keep on doing it exactly the same way. You want to do this side and then mimic again backwards like a mirror. Like you want to put the yellow here and then the darker next to that and then that next to that and then the blue right here and then the purple right there. It's the same way. You do it exactly the same way, but as you go darker, lower to here, the bottom is where your vision is. You kind of want it to be darker than what it is there because this right here is supposed to be, the sky is bright most of the time. So anyhow, I'm going to stop right there with that. So then the bottom part is going to be, because I'm doing silhouette because it's so easy to do, the bottom part, I'm just going to black it out. So I get another sponge and I load it with a lot of black. A lot of black. Then just make a line. It doesn't have to be straight because grass isn't straight, right? So it keeps you from having to make so many blades if you don't have it straight. It doesn't have to be neat. Now the black I usually go definitely over when I get done painting because I don't want any kind of gold showing through on the bottom. I want it to be real solid. So once I get done doing this one time, when I get done painting what I want on here, then I go back and with a brush and I paint the bottom part black again. A little bit more black.
Ashley Home Store's Black Friday sale ends soon. Get up to 50% off. Plus, shop Black Friday doorbusters or get 0% interest for 6 whole years. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Okay. Now you're gonna Leave that like that. Now normally, no, I'm gonna do it now. I'm just gonna go ahead and let it dry. I'm blow drying it for you guys, but normally I would take this and just sit over to the side and do another one, right? But I'm blow drying this so I could do this real quick. This part up here is already dry. It's just the bottom part. You want to get all the way dry. This is my old trusty dusty art hair dryer. I have natural hair. I don't blow dry my hair, but I use this. I've done had this for so long. Old Jerry Redden 1600. Oh man, I've had this since like hairspray days. Okay, so it's dry. So now you want to move this out of the way for a minute, and you want to pick up your picture, right? Now this is old school poor man's cheap, okay? Poor man's Cricut. Okay, so you take the pencil, you find what you want to paint on, what you want to trace on there, right? And you just...
If you have Obamacare, are uninsured, or struggling to afford your current health insurance, this could impact you. Call the number on your screen right now to find out how. It's free.
Okay, you don't have to do it really dark. You can miss spots and all that. You just want to make sure that that particular item that you want to have on here is whatever. Now, you would think that this charcoal is going to come off the picture. Don't press on it. Don't move it around. Just sit it on here where you want it, and then trace it.
Dental coverage and more that can start immediately. Get all the benefits that you're eligible for.
Call 1-800-359-4599. That's 1-800-359-4599.
Call 911. Call 911. A cop. You gotta go. You can't be here. Way too close to it.
Now try to be really precise. You don't want it to come out looking all messed up like a big blob. You want it to look like the picture that you got.
Well, thanks to your cousin, we got you on drug trafficking, narcotics-induced homicide of Julianne Wells, and now the murder, or attempted murder of your cousin.
Oh, come on. The idiot grabbed the gun and it went off. Wasn't he shooting?
Anything else you want to say in your defense?
No, I think I'll let my lawyer handle that.
Now before you take it off, you want to look to the side and make sure you have a line drawn all the way on it, and then you just pick it off. There you go. The man's on there. So I have a real skinny detail brush. It's my favorite brush, actually.
We got you shooting in the size 11.
My paint palette. I have a paint palette under there, but I'm out of paper. I've been using this top to this Chinese takeout thing. In fact, that's the reason why I keep them for my paint palettes, because I can, if I'm done using them, I could put the top, which is really the bottom, on there, and it keeps the paint from drying out. Or I could sit them in the sink and with some water and let the paint loosen up, wash it off, and use it again. And so I don't have to keep buying stuff in order to.
What else did you lie about?
So I'm going to fill in this little dude.
So what have you got for me?
You know, I've thought a lot about this situation. I've gone over all the math, all the possibilities, and I think
Now this is so easy anybody who is not an artist can do this. Now, I draw, I usually have paint parties called Drunken Brush, and I don't normally do it on regular items, and so if I want to teach somebody to paint something, I try to make it friendly. So what I do is I don't want the people who think that if it's a specific shape, if it's a tree or something like that, oh, well, I can explain to you how to do it, but you're on your own on that. But on something like a person or a pet, a dog or something like that, you want it to be real accurate, you know, as far as proportion. So I have to usually use a visual aid and then paint from it sometimes. And then just so I can see the proportion. Or sometimes it takes me hours and hours to just get one really perfect. But the cheap way,
I haven't been sleeping. Oh, well, you have some good news. Yeah?
I have an autograph, I have all that. I could do the grid method, I could do all that. But, you know, when I'm trying to keep something economical, one of the things you count in when you're charging is the time that it takes you to do it.
Remember that time we chased those robbery suspects across Wall?
And that affects your price too. That's why a portrait will set you back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so you be careful and just go over it and paint it all the way through.
Put into a box, and then one day it was gone. Huh? Oh, that's too bad. Had that special ammo for those 357s, remember? It was a long time ago. Yeah, well, the reason I think of it is we just got the ballistics back. Vance Williams was killed with a 38 caliber hollow point. The same ammo we used in our service revolvers. And the thing is, only cops got those bullets. They stopped making them in 1994, which is the same year you stopped being a policeman. Go buy the size 11, Tommy. I'm not sure what you're getting at.
Okay, so once you get him filled in, then you, where's my paint towel? Hold on a minute. You guys, one thing I don't want is paint on my art couch. So my paint towel is somewhere. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, here it is. I always have my handy dandy paint towel on this side. Okay, so I wipe that off, and then I go to a big brush. I get a bigger brush, and it's usually a flat brush. And I've been using this brush all week, so